Hello, everyone. This is my last will and testament.
Oh, so dramatic, so dramatic.
uh, I guess we
so,
can edit out the first part.
so the premise of this is he said he wanted to try this, so I sent it to his house, and all of a sudden it's, oh no, I was just kidding. But because we have no idea how much spicy this is going to be, I very much stress the fact of just taking a tiny piece and trying it and see where it takes us, because I don't want to kill anybody.
We'll start off small and work our way into the Deadly Reaper.
Into the crying.
Me versus observe me now. Happy. We'll do an after take afterwards.
you got cookies. You should be happy all the time.
So there's the box, and we've got what?
So, how about we start with you reading the label on the back? Like, there should be a warning.
Yes, there is a warning. So let's see here. Do not eat if you are sensitive to spicy foods, allergic to peppers, nightshades, or capsaicin, or are pregnant, or have any medical conditions. Keep out of reach of children.
Well, we did our best.
After touching the chip, wash your hands with soap and do not touch your eyes or other sensitive areas. Seek medical assistance should you experience difficulty breathing.
Other sensitive areas. Oh, I just had a thought about that.
Fainting or extended nausea. The Reaper shows no mercy.
According to what
The thing that got me was there's like 25 milligrams of sodium.
Yeah, I don't think the sodium is going to be your biggest part of your worries.
So, inside the box we have one chip challenge. You, a mere mortal who thinks they have what it takes. And then the Reaper. A heavyweight champ with Carolina Reaper pepper and a new Szechuan punch. Szechuan?
Yeah, that's an Asian spice, if I remember correctly. It's a pepper widely used in Chinese and Asian cooking.
I've heard of it before, yeah. What to expect? Made with Carolina Reaper pepper, scorpion pepper, and Szechuan peppercorn. This chip was created for the sheer pleasure of intense heat and pain. So apparently we have 5 rounds of heat or suffering. Round 1, a spicy punch to the tongue. Round 2, a fiery jab to the face. Round 3, impaired vision from tears. Round 4, a low blow to the gut. And round 5 is KO. Or okay if you turn it upside down. Okay. Well, I guess before we even touch the packaging of the chip itself, we've got a nice little glove. There it is, the Reaper itself. And we've got this just in case you want to know what year I passed away in. And
well, it's the proper year for the right chip.
Well,
my luck, I'd buy a bag of Fritos and it would be.
Alright, I think this is premature celebration. Participation award? Yeah.
Actually, this is one of the few things that I think you should get a trophy for just participating.
So they have different time limits. You have like 5 minutes is featherweight. It's their lightest amount. Then you have 10 minutes, and then you have 30 minutes, and then you have 1 hour.
Well, that's if you're doing the actual challenge and eating the whole chip at once. And I don't recommend that because
And
well, I want to remain friends, and and we have no idea how bad this is going to be, so I don't want to.
I lifted up the bottom of the box, and I thought that said, "How dare you?" This says, "Do you go head to head with the Reaper. You can eat the entire chip, wait as long as possible before drinking or eating anything, and post your reaction on social media." And any last words is the last thing it has to say.
So you want to show them what your cooling agents are?
Sure. Alright, so we'll start off with we have a mug here of milk. And it's hard to show the milk without dumping it out on the computer.
I'm sure if you say milk, they're not going to be like, no, I don't think milk's in there.
You'll have to trust me. And then we have Pepsi.
Like, what would you do? Like, lie about it and say, no, it's actually hot sauce.
Well, this one could be controversial. It's just water. And inside of a Pepsi bottle to add to the confusion.
Well, water is a bad idea because of the oils in it, but if you start, if it gets in your throat and you start choking on it, water might actually help the choking sensation. It might spread it out, but it'll help get it down the gullet.
At first I was going to go with Golden Grams, but I think I decided that the Nutter Butters might be a better choice as it's oil versus oil. But, yeah.
Anything with an oily base to it in a cookie helps. It helps kind of scrub your tongue.
And just in case I started thinking that, well, what if I start drooling in front of the camera? I might as well have some paper towels.
I think that's a possibility.
So, let the reaping begin, huh? It feels like the chip is kind of all around it, although there might be a spot that I could cut there. Okay. I'll just...
I was going to say, if you open it and black smoke comes out, abort.
Well, I touched it, and there was already some black powder on the outside, so I'm feeling like this thing's deadly.
No touchy.
I'd say...
I've heard that the chip is black.
Yeah. It's almost like a beef jerky color. Or one of the... there was the corn chip type.
Alright, just like a dime piece, like the nail on your pinky.
That is coated.
That looks intimidating.
Well, the smell... the smell's starting to come off of it.
Like just sniffing it is getting you.
Well, yeah, the smell is fragrant.
Smells normally are.
It's almost like a cayenne pepper.
Szechuan it's similar to black pepper, but it kind of comes in the same kind of kernels. But its effect is a little different. It actually makes your tongue kind of tingle, almost like a mint. It has kind of like it doesn't taste like mint, but it gives your tongue that kind of tingy, stingy kind of sensation. Similar to mint.
I almost reached to grab the chip. But I'm going to start out with about a finger's width of it.
I think
that might even be a bit too much.
I was just going to say, I think it's too much, but...
I'm just going to start by licking my finger.
Yeah, I would. I mean, there's no shame in that. Alright. Oh, it's on your tongue.
I just felt it.
I can see it. I can see it hitting.
Wow. Should have started reading off the warning label like this. Wow. Oh, don't swallow. So, it comes in waves, but that is an intense chip.
That is part of the Szechuan because it's, yeah. They probably mixed with the Szechuan just so they could get that sensation to go through, so you'd experience it in basically waves.
Right. But yeah, that is, I mean, that's barely anything.
Yeah.
And, wow. Thank you for jokingly making me taste what was on my finger. That was, wow. So, there were like two kind of, well, there's almost a third one coming on now as I swallowed that last time. But, yeah, it came in waves. It was a really intense heat. It's almost like a cayenne pepper in a way, and black pepper. It has kind of a...
Why did you do it twice?
I'm a glutton for punishment. And I know how it handles now.
Well, you do hang
Don't
out with
swallow.
me, so yeah, you must be.
It's hard to describe the heat.
So it's not just pain, but does it have a flavor to it?
It does have a flavor.
Pain flavor. No.
Yeah, pain flavor. Man, it's I've tasted this before, and there was a hot sauce type thing, which was probably it kind of tastes like habanero, I guess, but also mixed with black pepper, cayenne, salt. There is a bit of salt, but it's not as much as like a black pepper, like a really intense black pepper flavor.
That's part of that Szechuan kicking in.
Oh, maybe a bit of heat of, like if you get a really spicy jalapeno, like you're eating closer to the stem,
Yeah.
it's kind of the pain you get.
I've had a few jalapenos in the past that if I didn't actually see they were jalapenos, I would have called BS on it because they were way hotter than a jalapeno should have ever had the right of being. And I've had habaneros that were less hot than those jalapenos were. But come to find out, those jalapenos were grown in high sulfur ground, so that has an effect on how they come out.
I'm honestly not sure if I could handle the bite, but at the same time,
You're really curious.
I'm really curious. Yeah. Maybe I can't.
Well, you've had your,
Wow,
like how you temper eggs while you're cooking? You've kind of tempered yourself to it a little bit, so
Right.
it probably won't be quite as bad as if you just went in hardcore.
True. Thing is, I could just those little bits, those little particles. It comes in waves, and even now you think that it's gone, but I guess it's still like on the roof of my mouth or maybe even on my tongue. And you start swallowing every once in a while. It's just boom, right there. So I think even with this little tiny piece of chip, it would take quite some time to get rid of all the intense waves that it would have.
Well, it's because you haven't used any of your antidotes either. So you want to
Well,
try
that's
to do a
true.
timer thing, or you want to eat it and go for like 5 minutes, or then you start stuffing your face with ice cream?
Every 10 minutes. I mean,
10 minutes?
every 10 minutes, yeah.
Alright, you got your timer?
Well, I could have set it on my watch, but I don't really have a hands-free, and I'm too scared to touch it with any of my fingers right now.
Well, the thing is anybody watching it has a timer on the video, so just
True.
go, and when you're done, you're done.
Yeah, well, it's 10:50 now. I could roughly estimate around 10:60, 10:61, which would be 11 o'clock.
Yeah, 10:61. Yeah, exactly.
It's the chip, man.
Yeah, of course, it's always a chip.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness. I'll miss you.
I'm just going to keep it over there, and I'm going to keep my mouth closed, and we're going to be great.
Well, don't just keep it in your mouth because it'll keep hitting. Just get rid of it out of your mouth as quick as possible. 'Cause the longer you hold it there, the worse it'll be. Because it doesn't break down.
Okay. Down it goes.
Which might be terrible advice in the short term, but in the long run. Jeez. It's like you're chewing on a porcupine. You're like, no, I don't wanna.
I lucked out so well. It all went down on the side of my throat. So I am not feeling much heat, but I feel it right where, on the side of my tongue.
Yeah.
So don't swallow and let it go down the center of your throat, and you'll
Yeah, because it'll tickle your little.
be fine.
Tickle your flap.
But wow, that is an intense heat.
So that was just like a tiny piece. Imagine what the whole chip would have been like.
That honestly, I mean, me sitting right here, that I feel like that would have been deadly. But the chip itself, it's a corn tortilla that's been fried, kind of like a
Like a Dorito.
yeah, like a Dorito, but it was a little different. It was probably more like a salsa chip.
Oh, okay. Like a Tostitos or something like that.
Yeah. Oh wow. So I felt it. Felt it go down my throat, and then I feel it right now, making its way into my stomach, or the belly area, the top part, and wow, there's just the heat, just it's all there.
I can see you starting to break a little bit of a sweat.
I started sweating with just the stuff on my fingers, which I probably shouldn't have rubbed that on my forehead.
Well, at least it's on your forehead. Not your nose, not your lips, not your eyeballs.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, just in case. But there was definitely some black powder or something on the chip package itself.
And just in case you do want to get any of it off you, is like dish soap's a really good thing, but also baking soda, because baking soda will help gather up the oils. And if there's any acid to it whatsoever. Ooh, your tongue's even kind of colored on the one side.
Alright.
What kind of? Well, it's just the taste buds are kind of raised, like, like sometimes when you get sick and you got you go like in the front of the mirror, and all the little taste buds are like more pronounced than normal.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of looks like that on the one side where the chip was.
Oh, they're starting to be saliva's starting to form.
Kind of like the outside of a pickle. It's got those little bumps.
Yeah.
It's real similar.
So the heat made its way to about half of my tongue, maybe even a little bit. I made it somewhere around halfway. That's where the heat is, right? No, it's passing over onto the other side, I guess.
And you just tried to stash it in your pocket like a squirrel real quick. They kind of cheat, and you still.
I know how to handle hot food. It's extreme caution. Oh no.
So how you doing for time?
It seems like it's been about 5 minutes.
So is it still like as intense as it was, or is it kind of calming down, or?
It's calming down in my mouth, but it's increasing in intensity in my gut, I guess.
Well, that'll start to dissipate when you get the milk down there. Which I think, since the heat isn't bad, I don't think time matters at this point. So
Yeah,
I think you could probably just go straight to milk to calm that down, so you're not hurting later.
Well done, huh? I can't get that side off. But I'm going to regret that in a few moments. But all in all, the chip is... It's fine.
You say that
If you-
now. Just a few minutes ago, it's like, man, if I ate the whole thing, I could have died.
Oh, yeah. But,
Well, and plus, in
I
case,
think once...
because I know your dad's into spicy things, maybe you just break him off a little tiny pieces. Like, now, try this, but be very, very careful. Because he likes spicy, right?
I'm just going to carry the rest of this around, and if there's any muggers or anything, then you don't need pepper spray.
So didn't you tell him your dad's into spicy things?
Ah. Mucus is starting to flow.
Now we'll have to record your sister doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So any words of wisdom to your viewers?
Start small. Make sure you know what you're doing, and do not eat the whole chip all in one go. Whenever you're just starting out, because the thought process is you stick the chip in your mouth, you start chewing. There's this sudden heat, and you'll probably want to swallow to get it out of your mouth. And when you do that, you're going to feel an intense pain deep inside of you about a minute or 3 minutes afterwards. And that's going to be really painful.
So tempering yourself with the heat is very important.
Yeah. Because, yep, first thing you're going to want to do is swallow, and you probably shouldn't. But at the same time, it depends. Do you want the pain in your mouth, or do you want the pain in your gut? And eventually it's going to go down to your gut, but so... yeah, you're going to have to make up that for yourself.
Yeah, because you don't want the dry spice to get on your lung flap. So you definitely want to make sure that's all lubricated and mixed up in your mouth, however you want to put that, and make sure the liquid goes down. And yeah, it might leave you a little burning, it might make you cough a little bit, but you definitely want it to be liquid when it goes down and not powder. Because if you breathe in that powder in your lung, I can't even imagine what kind of effect that would have. So you definitely want it to be hydrated.
So at this point, I think I could probably last the whole 40 or... I could probably last without even drinking anything or eating anything.
Well, it's also a minute amount, though. I mean, if you did the whole thing, you'd be like, that's why it's called the challenge. And a lot of people would be like, oh, you're a wuss, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, you have no idea. And
I just want to survive.
Some people can eat that whole chip and it doesn't even faze them. Like there's one lady on the Tri Channel for like the Irish Tri Channel. She eats spicy things, and everyone around her is like crying and flopping on the floor, and she's like, "Ooh, that was a little spicy." And everybody's like, "Are
It's
you
just a bit heat.
human?" I don't know why everybody says I'm not human.
Nah, my aunt could probably handle this pretty easily.
Well, if you eat hot stuff all the time, it's a step up, but how far of a step? I mean, spice is kind of subjective because every person's going to handle it differently.
True. Well, the best thing that I could probably describe it is trying to eat a whole bunch of fresh peppercorns. It wouldn't be a fun experience, but you get the flavor of what it's like.
I think that's what blah, 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 blah. That Szechuan pepper is causing a lot of that sensation because it's kind of a unique pepper.
Yeah.
I mean, they use it a lot in Oriental cooking.
I really think that I've tried Szechuan before.
Yeah, they put it in a lot of things.
No, I might have tried it before. Maybe I'm immune.
Yeah, I don't think so. You licked your finger and you started sweating.
This is me after one bite. And
You're still alive.
yeah.
See, isn't there that like euphoric rush too? Like once you get through all the pain and everything, don't you feel kind of like in a better mood almost because you're just like like the endorphins hit.
I'm a lot calmer now than what I was before I tried. But that's a number of variables before then.
Well, hot stuff is one way that people release endorphins. Chocolate's another, and for chemical wise, that's why drugs have their effect because it's not the actual drug doing anything. It just causes your body to release endorphins, and that's where the high comes from. So it's literally just a substance that makes your body release chemicals, and that's where the high comes from. So literally eating really, really hot peppers is similar to taking heroin. Opening up a whole new world for you.
But no, I mean,
Except a slightly healthier way. Then you'll have a stomach of iron, and colds won't be able to come near you.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you like the flavor of black pepper, try it. If you don't like the flavor of black pepper, you probably won't like this. If you are a glutton for punishment with heat, go for it. That's how the chip crumbles and the.
That's how the chip crumbles, really. That's how you can
And I will have the victory Pepsi after this. And I guess now I have a whole mug full of milk to drink.
Well, I do the milk first because that will squelch your stomach. So that will prevent.
Right now, the heat in my stomach it's like in one spot. It's barely there.
Yeah, but you want to douse it. Trust me.
For later.
Well, because once it's in your stomach, your stomach might be our stomach, but your intestines aren't nearly as tough as your stomach is. So once that makes it there, you can actually inflame your intestines at times with foreign stuff. So if you're not used to eating real hot stuff all the time, it can actually cause situations. So that's why they recommend if you're doing the hot pepper stuff is drink milk, and that way it primes things so that nothing gets really surprised.
I am dropping the glove.
Alright. So I think this time we'll be signing off the video. So, any other words of wisdom before I click the old button?
Be prepared and stay safe.